The Gulls Nest is on the air. It's time for a weekly dose of Seaside High School athletics with the Gulls Nest. If it happens on the field, in the pool, or on the court, you'll hear it here. The Gulls Nest is sponsored by Ocean Crest Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac.
Good evening and welcome to the Gulls Nest. Athletic Director Jason Boyd here with our head football coach,
Chad Smith.
Coach, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
The Gulls Nest is brought to you by Ocean Crest Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac, home of the lifetime warranty.
We also want to thank our participating sponsors, Seaside Factory Outlet Center and Angelina's Pizzeria and Cafe.
So, Coach, let's do a quick recap of the Klatskanai Seaside matchup at Broadway Field last Friday. Really a pretty exciting game, especially from a spectator standpoint. To be, anything that's always close is going to be exciting. But there were some big plays at big times, which turned the tide, I think. And you could really see momentum move in that game. There were you had some personnel changes at times, and want to go through. And first of all, just let's look at that first quarter and how the game started.
I think overall the first and second quarter were kind of slow offensively for us. Defensively, we played strong, gave up 2 touchdowns, didn't tackle very well, and then we kind of get a little bit of luck there at the end of the first half. We threw a ball up on, I think it was 4th and 30 or something like that, and we have Dawson Blanchard comes down with a catch and rumbles in the end zone. So. That was a huge momentum for us going into halftime to cut the lead in half and get some points on the board on kind of a big play.
So far this season, you guys you've thrown the ball quite a bit more than we did last year. And one thing I noticed is that our receivers have had the tenacity to actually go up and get the ball. They're not just waiting for it to come down to them. And in that particular play with Hawkstry, I believe, to Blanchard, and he catches it and falls in the end zone there with 4 seconds to go. That was a huge momentum shift for your guys, taking that into halftime. And then halftime speech, kids come out, and the team looked definitely re-energized and a little more focused. Any thoughts on how that transformation transpired?
I think it was huge, like we talked about, to get that touchdown at the end of the first half, kind of give the kids a little more energy. I didn't think we had a lot of energy there in the first half. We went at halftime, with that momentum, put some points on the board. Then we came out. It was especially huge for us to get that touchdown because Klatskanai was going to get the ball at halftime. Mm-hmm. And so we didn't want to go down 14-0 and then kick the ball off. So we got that touchdown. Our defense came out at the third quarter, and I believe it was a 4-and-out. Klatskanai punted, and then we went down and scored on our first offensive drive. So we really wanted to send a message and get the point across that we need to play a little bit harder, play with some more enthusiasm. Those are some things we talked about at halftime.
So then we missed the extra point, so we're down 14-13. And then it's a battle back and forth the rest of the play. What's the key moment or the key play or key call, do you think, that really got our kids over that basically second half hump to be able to put the score on the board to take the lead?
I think the biggest thing is the one play that we punted. We really had a heads-up play by a couple of our players on the punt team. We punted, it bounced off a Klatskanai player, and one of our players was heads up enough to scoop it up and so give us the ball, inside the 30 going in, and I believe it went to the fourth quarter after that.
Yes.
And then we get another 4th down. It's about 4th and 7, and we throw a screen pass and ended up scoring on that to take the lead in the fourth quarter.
So one of the things I noticed throughout the game, the Klatskanai defense really pursued, to me, it seemed like, and that defensive end on the weak side just didn't do a very good job of staying home. So that screen call was a fantastic play call at the time, and then Cameron King and Otto Hawkstry execute really well. Cameron gets a great block as he's able to bring it up the sideline, has a huge stiff arm, and then is able to rumble into the end zone to basically give you guys that 19 to 15 point lead. And then did the mentality change defensively? Do you see kids tighten up a little bit because now they've got a lead and they're trying to hold on to it as opposed to fighting? I mean, what did you notice within your group?
I didn't notice a huge difference. With this group of kids, these particular kids, they don't always show a lot of emotion. And so, these kids are pretty calm and cool and collected. And so whether we're up or down, the kids are very calm, like we talked about, and there's not a huge change, which I think is a good thing. Mm-hmm. You don't want to get too high or too low. Right. And so that's a thing that we worked on. Like I said, we talked about at halftime about showing a little more emotion if you have a player make a great play. And so I think these kids are starting to understand that, but that's just not the mentality they've had as they've grown up. So that's something we're working on every day. So then
basically Class Guy gets the ball and they start to drive. And so it's a matter of, hey, can we keep them out of field goal range? Hopefully, can we definitely keep them out of the end zone? The defense starting to stiffen up there towards the end, but it was pretty tough. And then we end up holding them. So then we're trying to make a drive there towards the end to put some points on the board, kind of put the nail in the coffin. We have a nice pass to Dawson right in the at the goal line, and unfortunately he was just a toe out of bounds. Class Guy gets the ball with about 51 seconds left, and your defense comes up big.
Yeah, first play of that drive, Brian steps in and intercepts a pass, and it's kind of sealed the deal for us, and we ran the clock out and picked up our first victory of the year.
Well, congratulations on that, Coach. And when we return, we're going to talk about our matchup this Friday night at Yamhill Carlton, 7 p.m. between the Seaside Seagulls and the Yamhill Carlton Tigers.
Stand by for more with Jason Boyd and the Gulls Nest next on 102.3 KCRX. Now, back to the Gulls Nest on 102.3 KCRX.
Welcome back to the Gulls Nest. Jason Boyd here with our head football coach, Chad Smith. The Gulls Nest is brought to you by Ocean Crest, never-ending quest to provide a better customer service experience, and they have raised the bar with their lifetime powertrain warranty on virtually every vehicle they sell, new or used. Ocean Crest Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac off Highway 101 in Warrenton, home of the lifetime warranty. So, Coach, Yamhill Carlton, they've been out of the league now for a few years, so but it seems to be more of a traditional opponent for us. We've basically played them for the last 10 at their place this year, playing on grass. So what are they going to do to us or try to do to us?
So they have a new coach. They're 1-1 on the season. The first game they beat Tillamook on the last-second field goal. Then they lost last week to Valley Catholic. The kids seem to play hard from what we see on film. Offensively, they're kind of a spread team, kind of similar to us. Defensively, it's more of it's a 3-4 or 5-2, however you want to look at it. But their defense does a lot of different things, and so they try to confuse you and make you make some mistakes. So we're really trying to focus on getting better ourselves. Obviously, we need to know how they line up, but we want to get better ourselves and not focus as much on the opponents and focus on getting better every day. It's going to be an interesting time for us. We're a young team, and this will be our first away game, and so the routine is going to be a little bit different. Going to be away from home, so it's going to be an exciting time.
Well, hopefully the Seagull fans will travel and we'll get some support up there. So offensive line versus the defensive line, Coach, how do we match up basically in the trenches with Yamhill?
Every team that we play is going to be bigger than us up front. We're kind of a smaller team. We really need to rely on our technique and the things that we're coached to do and the correct steps and a little bit of our quickness to beat some of those guys. So that's what we really kind of stressed the last 2 weeks. We got to stay low. We got to use our hands and those things. And so because, like I said, every team, Yamhill Carlton's got some big kids up front, and we need to use our quickness to run our offense.
Okay, so what are our strengths going into this matchup?
I think our receivers, our skill guys, are there's a good matchup for us out there, especially how they play defensively. we still need to try to establish the run, and so we introduced some new plays to try to help us do with that. But our strength is definitely probably our skill guys against their skill guys.
Mm-hmm. Now, Yamhill's coming off a pretty big loss, so they've experienced that opportunity to come back and try to prove themselves, kind of much like what the situation we were in last week. They lost last week to currently number one ranked Valley Catholic, another one of our league opponents. So momentum-wise, the first part of this game could be really, really important for us. What is there anything that you're thinking about setting up to get us on a positive momentum track and maybe really get into their heads early on that could be a game much like their previous week?
We have a few ideas, things we might do, and so
you don't have to give your plays away.
Right. I just want to, it's going to be, we're going to have some exciting things we're going to try and to try to gain that momentum, try to get some big plays there in the beginning of the game. It's always important how you start. The first 6 minutes or so of that first half,
mm-hmm.
and then the last 6 minutes of the half, and then same thing going in the second half. So we want to start well, we want to finish well. We like to play well the whole game, but we're really focused on starting and finishing well.
Okay, so Coach, some different philosophies when it comes to the coin toss at the beginning of the game. Some people like to defer. Some people like to get the ball right away. You win the toss. What's your going to be your common trend, do you think?
The last two games, I think we have won the toss and we've taken the ball. So I want to get the ball in their offense's hands and
mm-hmm.
score first. And I want to be aggressive that way throughout the whole game.
Okay, great. It worked really well, at least in the first half against North Marion, first possession, to be able to go down and score right away. And hopefully we can do that against Valley Catholic here. You mentioned that they won against Tillamook in basically a last-second field goal. So they have a kicking game. How much of a threat is that for you guys?
It's something that we think about. Our defense needs to hold and make sure that we don't let them get in that field goal range. But I'd rather give up field goals than touchdowns. So if that's one of the only things that we're giving up, then I'll be happy on the sideline.
Okay, great. So, Coach, the youth program is obviously a key component to building a successful high school program, and Seaside Kids Incorporated provides football for our youth from 3rd through 6th grade for free. Tell us about that program, the website, and if you're out there listening and you know of a kid who hasn't gotten involved yet, ways that they can still be part of that.
So we have two teams, 3rd and 4th grade team, 5th and 6th grade team. They have last Saturday was their first contest. I know they played Tillamook, and I heard some great things. You can sign up on our football website. That's www.seasidefootball.com, and the link to sign up is right there on the front page. Also, you can contact me here at the school. My school email is on the school website, and you can ask me any questions there as well, and I'll get you in contact with the Seaside Kids coaches.
Okay. Seaside Kids also offers a volleyball program for 4th through 6th grade girls in the fall, and that is at Seaside High School on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and the kids start at 3:30 and roll on through to about 4:30, 4:45. It is also free. A great way to get your young ladies out there involved in the sport of volleyball. A little bit different scenario. It's not everybody has a program this part of the season or part of the year, so it's difficult to get into competition mode. But it's been a great opportunity for kids the last 4 years to really learn some basic skills, and we're seeing that really transition into the middle school and high school as those kids start to filter into the high school here. When we return, we're going to talk with our head cross-country coach, Neil Branson. Coach, thanks for being on the show today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Stand by for more with Jason Boyd and the Gulls Nest next on 102.3 KCRX. Now, back to the Gulls Nest on 102.3 KCRX.
Welcome back to the Gulls Nest. Now joining us, our head cross-country coach for a few decades, Mr. Neil Branson. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
So this is the Thursday before one of the greatest high school events on the planet, the 3-course challenge. One race, 1 day, 3 courses, 3,000 kids from middle school to high school, and there's even an open race. If you're a runner and you like to run 5Ks and you really want to test your abilities, you can come on out and run one of the 2 courses at the end of the race. We'll give you more information about that a little bit later. But Coach, quickly, just kind of take us through a brief history of the 3-course challenge.
Well, first off, there's actually 11 races, which makes it pretty entertaining with all the different divisions. So this is our 27th year, and after this year, we'll have had over 40,000 finishers from 215 different high schools. So a lot of people, a lot of schools, and a lot of volunteers. So it's an amazing event.
So the format is, and you talk about all the different divisions, so that creates all these different races. We're looking at there's a middle school course, which is going to be about 3,000 meters.
3,000.
And then there's 3 high school courses. We call them the white, the blue, and the red. And the white course is supposed to be the easier one, and then blue is the more moderate, and then the red's the more difficult because they get to run up and down some pretty steep elk trails up and down the dunes. So this is a unique experience because most of the time when you go to a cross-country race, you show up, there's a course, everybody runs the same course, you can compare your times, and you have a winner and team wins and that type of thing. Where in this course, as your teams show up, you might be my partner running, and you're running the blue course and I'm running the red course, so you're going to run it at probably 11 o'clock, and I'm going to run at noon, and we're kind of 2 different courses, although we all go through the mud pit together.
Yeah, that's part of the uniqueness of it. In a normal cross-country meet, a varsity team has 7 runners. They all run the same course, same time. This time, but only 5 score. In this one, the larger divisions, all 7 runners score, and they're divided 2 on the easy, 2 on the moderate, and 3 on the difficult. And it changes by division. Mm-hmm. So everybody's involved. And you're right about that difficult course, the last Elk Hill. It's kind of like, who are you kidding? So it's cross country. Our motto is
real cross country.
Yeah, it's real. Our motto is celebrating the sport of cross country, and we feel we do everything. We have a lot of team camaraderie out there. We have fun, challenge. We have entertainment just with all the kids. And then, of course, our last regiment drum corps, we give out tons of awards, over 300 individual medals, and I don't know how many. It's just a lot of stuff. So it's exciting and fun.
So here's what you want to experience this Saturday, September 17th. You need to get out to Camp Rylea, preferably around 8 o'clock. If you show up a little bit later, that's okay, but that would probably be the optimal time. Make sure you bring $5 and get all your friends in a car, because it's $5 a car to park. They will check your driver's license for the driver. As it is a military base, they have to make sure that they check some IDs. And you'll get out there. You want to see the start of the race. You want to see 500 kids lined up all together and have the drums pounding away, and then watch them take off on that race. And then you've got to get over and watch the mud pit. And the mud pit is, it's about 2 feet of water. It's about 30 yards long, 10 yards wide at the widest point, and you have 500 kids trying to run through it. Lots of lost shoes and muddy faces and some really, really great experiences. If you want to kind of see a sneak peek, Google or look on YouTube for 3-course challenge mud pit, and you can catch some video there. And then you've got to come back across the dune and watch the finish, as these kids have put their heart and soul into Camp Rylea's turf out there, and come across that finish line to see the joy on their face, knowing that they've completed something. It's really a fantastic experience.
Indeed. Come out. We'd love to have you. Lots to see. Come and enjoy the event.
All right, Coach. Well, thank you very much for being here on the show today, Coach. All right, let's do a quick recap with some of our other sports here at Seaside High School. The varsity volleyball team started their league action on Tuesday, and they lost to Scappoose 3-1. The previous Saturday, they took third at the Cascade tournament and are currently ranked 12th in the state. Of course, we have 5 teams in the Quappa League that are ranked in the top 13 right now. The boys soccer team traveled to Corbett on Thursday last week and won 6-0. They went to number 3 ranked Molalla on Tuesday this week and had a 2-1 victory there. Our girls soccer team hosted Corbett and Molalla and fell to Corbett 1-3, and then had a really hard-fought match, giving up a goal to break a 1-1 tie late in the contest. Kirsten Lint was fantastic in the goal as the keeper against Molalla, but the Seaside varsity team ends up falling to Molalla 1-2. To remind you that all of our contests are located at www.coopleague.org. Want to encourage you to enjoy the high school experience. Come out and celebrate and support our kids as they compete daily for their community, for you, and their school. Go Gulls!
Thank you for tuning in to the Gulls Nest, a weekly look at Seaside High School athletics. Join us Thursdays at 6 p.m. The Gulls Nest on 102.3 KCRX. Sponsored by Ocean Crest Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac.